Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council for Monday, February 3rd, 2025 to order. And I'd ask if you'd all please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Tamer, please call the roll.
Present.
Panko.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Graham.
Here.
Cahill.
Here.
Toledo.
Here.
Park.
Here.
Udera.
Here.
Bastido.
Here.
Nardini.
Here.
Brennan.
Here.
Irby.
Here.
Barimus.
Here.
13 present, 0 absent.
13 present, 0 absent. We have a quorum. We're going to go on to item 2, which is the appointment of an alderman and oath of office. As everyone should know, Alderman Deuter of the First Ward is in Springfield, and which she would have liked to have been here tonight, but she's taking care of the people's business down there. As I said at a previous meeting, I wasn't sure what we were going to do about the existing vacancy, but at this point, there's one candidate who remains in the race, and so I talked to Mr. Bellinger to see if he was ready to serve, and that will then bring us back up to full capacity. So I'm looking for, I've appointed him to the ward. It requires council approval, and I'm looking for a motion to approve of the candidacy. Motion by Alderman Varamus, second by Alderman Toledo. Is there any discussion on the motion? Very good. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes, and I would like to invite Mr. Bellinger up to the front here with your family so we can deliver an oath of office. Come right over here, Brian. Have your family stand beside you or next to you. All right.
Bring family to the other side so we can take pictures.
Oh, yeah. Well, are we at the picture stage already? I don't remember doing the oath. All right. Do you want to tell us who you have with you tonight?
Yes, I have George, Jane,
Hello!
Freddie, and my wife Dana.
Do you want to say
Hello.
All right. All right. Well, congratulations. We're going to administer the oath of office. So I'm going to ask if you'll stand and face me and raise your right hand. I, Brian Bellinger,
I, Brian Bellinger,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the chartered laws of the City of Elmhurst,
and the chartered laws of the City of Elmhurst,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of First Ward Alderman
of First Ward Alderman
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations, Alderman.
Thank you.
Donald Trump stinks.
Sure. All right, so we're going to take a picture with all of us up here, and then
Oh, well, maybe not that.
How long did it for?
Just right here. And the way he's doing it now.
Money's free. That's good.
George, come back. Watch me. Let's just do a little circle.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have a full house, as they say. Item 3 on the agenda, receipt of written communications from the public. Is there any member of the public that has a written communication that they would like to deliver to the council? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move on to public forum. Clerk Tamer, has anyone signed in for public forum this evening?
Yes, Mayor. We have Jeff Budgell.
Okay, Mr. Budgell, if you would approach the rear microphone there, you have 3 minutes. Please state your name. Address is optional.
Name is Jeff Budgell, 158 Oak Street, Elmhurst. I'm here just to offer my opinion on the discussion you're going to have tonight on area wells, residential area wells or window wells, which is really an interacting connection between 3 topics, which is the area wells or window wells, side yard drainage, and access to the rear property yards for maintenance of the home. You have a really complete memo that goes into a lot of different things, but in the end, I think that it's best kept really simple, which is maintain drainage through the side yard, maintain access to the rear yard, and meet all of the codes. Some of what's in here, I think, goes a little too far. It starts to restrict the number of bedrooms that would be possible in a basement based on the number of area wells that you could achieve. I just don't think it's necessary to go that deep into it. You know, the engineers, when they look at the plans, they know if they're going to drain correctly. There's a code, there's the county ordinance for drainage. Everybody knows how that's going to work when they're designing a home. The area wells are required for access and egress to a basement in an emergency. Even if there's no bedrooms, I do believe, it doesn't indicate it here, but I do believe that there's at least one area well remote from the stairs required. So it's something that has to be there. They are getting bigger, but that's a design feature. And as long as they meet the codes, they maintain the access to the backyard so you can get lawnmowers in and out. That can be achieved through the back of the garage with a small overhead door or you know, from the one side yard, but it needs to be achieved that you can get into your backyard with a lawnmower or equipment to maintain it. Drainage obviously is required and it's necessary. It needs to be achieved, and there's lots of ways to do this without getting into too deep into what it is that happens, what the architect does, what the engineer does for the site. As long as those needs are met to code, I think that's the end of the story right there. I don't think you need to start measuring off area wells, what they are, what they're made out of. That's a design feature that just I don't think is something that should be gotten into by code. It's already achieved in code, and I think that going further really doesn't achieve it. Maintain drainage, maintain access, and you're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Budgell. Is anyone else signed in?
Tom Eldergott.
Hi, I'm Tom Aldergott, 144 South Rex. I've been attending DPZ committee meetings for 9 months now since my property collapsed during an excavation next door. Chris Jensen has only been there for 2 meetings as a new chairman. But it only took him 2 meetings to ask the same question my wife and I have been asking for 9 months. And that is it possible for builders to build a house without encroaching into the 5-foot side yard setback? Apparently, this question he shared with us because some other aldermen had asked him the same thing. And the answer 9 months later is still yes. You can make the house a little narrower and a little longer. It's a simple exercise in geometry. You end up with the same square footage, the same tax revenues, the same lot percentage coverage, the same area under a roof. However, you also would get less property damage to neighbors, improved quality of life, and safety. The better questions are, why are builders so set against this? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aldergott. Clerk Tamer?
That's it, Mayor.
That is the end of the list of people who have signed in. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make a public comment but did not have an opportunity to sign in? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to announcements. Are there any announcements from the dais? All right, we'll move on to the Clerk Tamer.
I just want to make an announcement about early voting. Just to clarify that the city of Elmhurst does not have any sort of primary that are going on in some other towns. So our early voting does not start until March 17th. So March 17th, there's no voting before that. And around that time, also people will receive their mail-in ballots. So there has been some inquiries about when is early voting, when are we getting our mail-in ballots and so forth. So our election's April 1st. And information has been uploaded to the city website, and as we gain more information, we'll continue to upload, but that's what we know at this time. So that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Clerk Tamer. And while you're at it, would you read the consent agenda, please?
6.1, minutes of the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on January 21st, 2025. 6.2, accounts payable, February 3rd, 2025, $1,099,696.16. 6.3, appointment of Vice Chair to the Finance, Council Affairs, Administrative Services Committee, Alderman James A. Nudera. 6.4, appointment to the Finance, Council Affairs, and Administrative Services Committee, Alderman Brian Bellinger. 6.5, Historic Preservation Commission appointments and reappointments, Tom McKinney, Dan Wangler, John Zaharis, Chris Hansen, John O'Leary, and Dave Falls. 6.6, referral, crosswalk safety evaluation, Addison Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue. 6.7, report, case 24P17, Delta Sonic, conditional use for pylon sign and variation, 600 West North Avenue. 6.8, report, window wells, excavation standards, and backyard access. 6.9, report, DuPage Mayor and Managers Conference 2025 Legislative Action Program. 6.10, report, ADA self-evaluation and transition plan. 6.11, report, Elmhurst Running Club 4 on the 4th, 2025 race. 6.12, report, 2025 contract paving program, resident engineering services. 6.13, report, Highway Authority Agreement, 463 South Spring Road. 6.14, report, 2025 through 2027, public tree removal and tree trimming. 6.15, report, 2025 sanitary sewer and manhole rehabilitation. 6.16, an ordinance granting a rear yard setback variation for the property commonly known as 434 East Atwater Avenue, Elmhurst, Illinois. 6.17, an ordinance approving granting a minimum lot area variation for the property commonly known as 524 and 526 Northwest Avenue. 6.18, an ordinance granting a variation from the corner side yard setback requirement for the property commonly known as 436 West Elm Park Avenue, Elmhurst, Illinois. 6.19, an ordinance amending section 44.74 entitled Yield Right-of-Way Streets of Article 5, entitled Driving, Overtaking, and Passing of Chapter 44, entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic of the Elmhurst Municipal Code. 6.20, an ordinance amending section 44.92 entitled Stop Intersections enumerated of Article 6, entitled Special Stops of Chapter 44, entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic of the Elmhurst Municipal Code. 6.21, an ordinance amending section 44.31 entitled Speed Limits on Certain Streets, 20 miles per hour, and section 44.32 entitled Speed Limits on Certain Streets, 25 miles per hour, of Article 4 entitled Speed Restrictions of Chapter 44 entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic of the Elmhurst Municipal Code. 6.22, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a non-exclusive license agreement by and between DuPage Cycling Foundation and the City of Elmhurst, DuPage, and Cook Counties, Illinois. 6.23, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a non-exclusive license agreement by and between the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee of Elmhurst and the City of Elmhurst, DuPage, and Cook Counties, Illinois. 6.24, an ordinance waiving bid and authorizing the execution of a contract for the 2025-2026 contract turf and landscape maintenance project. 6.25, an ordinance waiving bid and authorizing the issuance of a notice of award purchase order for the purchase of concrete street light poles. 6.26, a resolution to authorize the issuance of a temporary use and event permit for the Elmhurst Reformed Church's Farmers Market, 149 West Brush Hill Road. 6.27, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for the 2025 sanitary sewer cleaning and televising project. 6.28, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for the 2025 storm sewer cleaning and televising project. 6.29, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of the Illinois Department of Revenue resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for the reconstruction of Elma Avenue and Elm Park Avenue to Berkeley Avenue project. 6.30, a resolution authorize the execution of intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois Department of Transportation and the City of Elmhurst for Phase 2 traffic signal modernization improvements along the Illinois 64 corridor. 6.31, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Engineering Resource Associates, Inc. for plan review services. In 6.32, an ordinance waiving bid and authorizing the issuance of a notice of award purchase order for the purchase of one portable screening bucket.
Thank you, Clerk Tamer. Is there any item on the consent agenda?
Sorry, I missed 2 weeks ago when it was really light.
Is there any item on the consent agenda that any alderman would like to remove from the consent agenda, either for further discussion or to vote against? Alderman Jensen?
6.8.
6.8. Anyone else? All right. I'd like to have a motion to approve the consent agenda less item 6.8. Alderman Nardini with a motion, Alderman Bassito with a second. Clerk Tamer?
Hill?
Aye.
Schenko?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Graham?
Aye.
Cahill?
Aye.
Toledo?
Aye.
Park?
Aye.
Nudera?
Aye.
Bastido?
Aye.
Nardini?
Aye.
Brennan?
Aye.
Irby?
Aye.
Bellinger?
Aye.
Karimis?
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays, 0 absent.
14 ayes, 0 nays, 0 absent. The consent agenda minus 6.8 passes. Clerk Tamer, would you read the report on 6.8?
Therefore, the Development, Planning, and Zoning Committee recommends that the City Council approve the regulations noted above into the zoning ordinance via the forthcoming comprehensive zoning ordinance update. The committee also recommends that the city approve the changes to Chapter 24 of the MCO noted herein. The city attorney is hereby directed to prepare the necessary documents for City Council approval. Signed, Alderman Chris Jensen, Chair, Alderman Jennifer Varimas, Vice Chair, and Alderman Tina Park.
A motion to put 6.8 before the council. Motion, Alderman Jensen. Second, Alderman Varimas. Alderman Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I would like to thank staff for the work they've done on this item for the last few months, initially as part of the larger zoning ordinance update and then on its own. I would also like to thank former Chair Marty Deuter and the rest of the committee for doing the bulk of the work on here before I was named to the committee a month ago. Most of this report is related to window wells and detailed changes that we recommend be added to the new zoning ordinance. There are 8 bullet points in the report that are our recommendation to include in the new zoning ordinance, which codify requirements for any window wells for new construction homes that exist in the side yard setback. These requirements are more restrictive than what we currently allow. The most important of these are any window well or stoop in the side yard setback must be at least 3 feet from the property line. No more than 2 window wells are allowed per side. If the report is approved, these items will be added to the draft zoning ordinance, which is still in front of our committee, but we hope will soon be brought here to be voted on and sent to the Zoning and Planning Commission for review and public hearing before we look at it again and give final approval down the road. Additionally, we recommend 3 changes to the building code that codify existing policy for window wells actual construction, especially within a flood inundation area. These changes, if approved, would be made once the city attorney drafts language to do so, and we approve it at a future meeting. We also discuss excavation standards and the regulation enforcement through the Illinois state statute. We directed staff to prepare a document to detail excavation standards and OSHA requirements to ensure builders are fully aware of them and that homeowners are aware of their rights. Finally, we discussed the possibility of changing setback requirements for wider lots in the R2 district. While the possibility was intriguing, the large variation in lot sizes in the R2 district would make a workable new policy difficult when considering existing zoning requirements. We ask for your support on the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Jensen. Any additional discussion on 6.8? Clerk Tamer. Alderman Nardini.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Regarding window wells, welcome to the Chair, Chair Jensen, and thank you for the report, and thank you, Eileen and Kent, today for walking me through a whole bunch of my questions. I appreciate it. For those who are unfamiliar with what this is the zoning upgrade is sort of a nerd's perfect outcome. This is a cleanup. This is a process of making things that were not super specific much cleaner and much better understood. And this window well issue is something that has been gray area that is now being codified, and I think that's a good thing. And it's important for people to know that before this becomes official new zoning code, there is a public hearing in the commission stage so that people who still have questions about it and want to have more understanding about it can be heard and can get a better understanding. I think this is a good thing, and I think we are cleaning up something that has been a gray area up until now.
Thank you. Anyone else? No further discussion. Clerk Tamer.
Hill.
Aye.
Schenko. Aye. Jensen.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Cahill.
Aye.
Toledo.
Aye.
Park. Aye. Nudera.
Aye.
Bastido.
Aye.
Nardini.
Aye.
Brennan.
Aye.
Irby.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Varimas. 14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. Item 6.8 passes. Item 7, reports and recommendations of appointed elected officials. Mayor Levin. Two items. One is I want to congratulate Jim Rogers, who received the Professional of the Year Award from the Illinois Park and Recreation Association, which is a very significant award, and in true intergovernmental cooperation style, both the school district and I wrote letters of support for his nomination, and he received the award last week. The other thing is, I invite everyone to travel back in time and discover Elmhurst past with the Elmhurst History Museum's new exhibit, Snapshots, Elmhurst Now and Then. It's open through February 23rd, 2025, where you can explore the stories, photos, and moments that showcase how Elmhurst has grown and evolved through the years. And that's where I got this lovely book. And for the aldermanic candidates who attended the forum that they had, you would have seen the larger version of this, but the photographer has done a very interesting job of combining actually an old photograph and a new, so it looks like it's all one picture, so it's kind of an interesting thing. This book is available at the History Museum gift shop, and also thank you to the League of Women Voters for the candidates forum that they held for the candidates last Sunday. City Manager.
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right. Item 8, other business. Is there any other business to be brought before the council this evening? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Bellinger, you're on the record. Alderman Nudera wants to get in there. You get a second. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. We are adjourned. Thank you all.